I'm experiencing, I'm experimenting with different mic placements. I want to see how this sounds. So I don't know if this will work. This is the playa. It is Friday morning, June something. This is the playa. I've been here since Tuesday, and I've been pretty much by myself. I don't see anyone. My skin tone probably changed a little bit because I probably got sunburnt. My beard's growing because I haven't showered since Monday night. This is wilderness. I come here because there's nothing here. When I was coming back from Joshua Tree, I felt these escalating series of emotions that were being imposed upon me by my environment, and I didn't like that. Being an empath means I feel what other people feel. Sometimes I feel a sort of zeitgeist of a place. And I have to come to really desolate places not to feel that. That's what the playa is for me. It's not the only place. I think some of it happened in Joshua Tree as well. But I came here because I felt stuck in filmmaking, even though I'm doing all this interesting stuff. More importantly, I felt like I needed some kind of major change in my spiritual perception, my locus of being, the nexus of what I am. And I thought for a long time that I could only make that breakthrough through the use of psychedelics. But as my friend said, the mushrooms will come when you're ready. Or the inverse, the mushrooms will not come if you're not ready. Or, the way I'm reading it, the mushrooms didn't come because I don't need them. Here's the theory behind that. I think that what happens in my brain as a result of the use of psychedelics, what happens in our brains, the use of psychedelics, can happen without the psychedelics. The psychedelics just make it easier, make it faster, more accessible. The problem is, and this is what Ram Dass said, is that they don't last. People want to get high, but I want to be high. I want to stay high. I want access to that thing that psychedelics do in my brain all the time. I want to make those kinds of connections and see things differently all the time. I want to be aware of my intrinsic connection to all things. This is a dangerous idea, what I'm about to tell you. It's a dangerous idea because it completely restructures the universe in a way that I don't know the world's ready for, based on how people are treating each other right now and behaving for the most part. But I think there's some people out there ready for it, so I'm going to share it. We think of the world as right and wrong, as a series of moral choices. And it doesn't matter if you base the morality on God or not. I have come to the conclusion that morality is essentially a social construct made up in order to organize groups of people larger than one. If you're by yourself, none of it matters. But if you're with a group of people, there needs to be some organizing principle. So goes the theory. As I search for intrinsic reality, I have discovered that what if none of it's real? What if the universe is doing something entirely different? What if when creation was first created and the Big Bang happened, however you want to imagine that, it didn't just shoot everything out from a point of origin in three-dimensional space over time. It also shot things out in fifth and sixth dimensional time as well. This created lower and higher resonant frequency states, or lower and higher dimensions, or expansion and contraction. The problem is, the more contracted things are, the more material things are, the less energetic things become, the further away they get from the source of the creation. So then, the function of time, if there is a function, if time exists, is to reunite us into perfect unity with that source, which is ourselves and also God. I don't know if there's a line between where God ends and I begin, or where I end and God begins. I don't know where that line is, if there is even one. If we accept that the function is to reunite us with God, with our higher selves, with our higher dimensional reality, then maybe we can also go a step further and say that everyone is on this path, and everything that happens in everyone's life is part of that journey. The evil person does evil things as part of their journey. The thief steals because they believe that they need to get the thing in order to survive. And they don't. They don't need that thing. They think they do. And it doesn't matter if they survive or not, because that's not the end goal. The end goal isn't the continuity of biological life. The end goal is reunity with the source, with Creator. The people to whom the evil thing is done are actually more evolved than the person perpetrating the evil. And when I say evolved, I mean further along on the journey toward connected intrinsic self. They are able to be a sin eater. They can absorb the damage and transmute the negative karma, the negative energy, the lower state energy of the person doing evil into a higher state energy. Sometimes at great cost to their mortal bodies, sometimes at apparent great cost to their minds. I know this is far out. I know this is wild. I know this is gonna cause a lot of people drama. And I'm sorry about that, because my hope is to alleviate suffering, not cause more. And this does not in any way sanction or facilitate the person doing evil things. I want to make that clear. You can't set out to do it, meaning if you set out to do it, you're already on the wrong path. So, yes, Hitler fits into this paradigm. Does that mean that Hitler should have existed? Was there not another way to do it? Yes, there was another way. No, Hitler should not have existed. Was fighting against him right? Yes, it was right to combat Hitler. Okay? Same with Jeffrey Dahmer. Same with other scales of evil. Evil. It's not a balance. It's not yin yang. Good and evil don't exist in parity with each other as some kind of symbiotic system. All things are tending toward good. All things are tending toward good. All things are being reconciled into unity with Source, with Creator. Every event that happens is part of that. That's the idea I came to the playa with. I also came to the playa with the very real possibility that the choices that I make, this is the feeling that I had to confront. The choices that I make, the decisions that I make, the physics that I adopt, and the things that I reject are based on the things that I want to believe about myself. In other words, I came with a sense of guilt to the playa. I chose to not believe in time because I didn't want to believe in free will, because I didn't like the choices that I had made. I felt guilty. And so when I came to the playa, I came with a sense of guilt. I came with a sense of, I screwed up filmmaking. After Algorithm, I should have just stuck with YouTube instead of chasing Hollywood and squandering 10 years of my life. I should be making more money. I should have been kinder to my wife all the time. We have a great relationship generally, but it took some time to get here, and I should have been kinder to her. Where did that sense of guilt come from? As I sat in the playa, in a space of no influence of any kind except the environment itself, which was actually very pleasant before today, I reviewed where that guilt might have come from. And I realized that as I chafed against the confines of my childhood, against the people telling me I needed to behave a certain way and fit into society a certain way so that I could be a cog in the machine of industrial whatever, as I resisted that, people told me I was a bad person. They put me in detention. I got suspended. I got expelled. I got moved from one school to another. I got put on medication. I got sent to psychologists and psychiatrists. I even went to a mental institution for a couple weeks. There's more to that. I'm not going to get into that. One of the things I had to come to grips with, I just sat in that space. And so on Wednesday night, I was crying. But also, I'm reading this book. I can't recommend this book enough. This is probably the most significant book that I have read in the past 5 years for spirituality. When you open it, it's going to feel like The Secret. It is not The Secret. He's talking about the structure of reality. He explains in the book that electrons exist in a cloud of infinite possibilities, where things actually are. Infinite probabilities is the term he uses. And that they don't collapse into a reality until there's an observer. Now, science seems to demonstrate this. I would argue that the electrons exist in fifth and sixth dimensional space-time, and they don't come down to fourth dimensional space-time until we need to directly interact with them. If I accept the dimensionality construct of the universe, that I have to accept that also time is part of that dimensionality. And so the narrative that I was telling myself, the narrative that I was told, the narrative that I heard from other people about who I am, a deviant, a bad person, necessitating being rejected, that was just time collapsing in a certain way, and I can collapse it in any number of ways. And when I realized that, the guilt began to dissipate. One of the meditations the book leads through is, if you want to create your own reality, imagine, you have to visualize it. Imagine what it is you want to be like. Who do you want to be like? When I first had my Enlightenment experience, I was chasing the vision of a guy called Lonnie Frisbee. Lonnie Frisbee, he was basically a prophet sent to Western Christianity to reveal this expanded state of reality to people. He was also gay, and that second part, the church couldn't handle it at the time, and so they rejected him. When Lonnie would preach, God would show up, power would show up. People would behave in strange ways and get healed and speak in languages they didn't learn and have out-of-body experiences. Wherever this guy went, that happened. Even with that, the church rejected him because he was gay. I did not become gay following Lonnie's path. That wasn't part of what was an issue. But what did happen was that those similar things happened when I preached. People did get healed. People were transformed when I spoke. Not everyone, but a few. More than zero. More than a few. And like Lonnie, eventually what I had to say didn't agree with the church enough that the church basically rejected me. So I'm not going to that church anymore. It's heavy because I've been going for 20 years. But I have to keep on this path. I have to keep following it. I have to go where it leads. And if some people are going a different path, they need to walk a different path, that's fine. I nothing but hope and blessing at them, but it's not my path. And my staying there became counterproductive to both of us. I'm okay. That journey of loving myself that I mentioned a few episodes ago, I'm okay with being a deviant now. And that was a necessary step to get to this place that I'm at. So the Lonnie Frisbee thing, I realized that I had followed that trajectory to its logical conclusion, up to and including the rejection by the church. I now want to embody a different trajectory. And that trajectory is the life of Ram Dass's guru. Ram Dass wrote about it in a book called That Guru Did Everything Jesus Did. He was not rejected by the church, although he was in India. He was not rejected by India. He was embraced by India. People would come to him. And so as I set that intention, as I leaned back and embraced it, as I let myself feel what it would feel like to be at one with the universe, perfectly connected, all of my guilt washed away. All of my feelings of dread and shame lifted. There was another step I forgot to mention. At about 4 a.m. on the playa, the moon sets and the stars are visible when there aren't clouds like there are now. I woke up feeling a little dizzy, a little vertigo, and on the playa, there's no one to help you. It's really easy to die on the playa. It's really easy to become dehydrated on the playa. I had a panic attack. I felt myself want to throw up. I felt my bowels want to purge. I felt my body go into shock. And in that moment of shock, as that realization hit me, as the feeling, as the awareness of the feeling hit me, I suddenly was not consumed by the experience of my body, but I was able to watch it and feel it. Not as though it was happening to someone else. It was happening to me. But it wasn't the totality of me. It was a very small part of me. Then, as the sweats faded, as the adrenaline rush left my body, I fell back asleep. When I woke up, again, I was concerned that maybe I had gotten food poisoning. Maybe I was going to die on the playa. I did my morning ritual and I realized that meditation of Ram Dass's guru had opened a door in me to be in that space of connectedness, but not consumed by the connection. And I leaned into it. I leaned further into that feeling. And I let myself feel what it would feel like to be connected to all of those things. To all things. My perfect version of my reality life that I'm trying to manifest is not the life that Ram Dass's guru lived. I don't want to live in a small hut in the foothills of the Himalayas and have people come and visit me. I want to be a good person to those I interact with directly or indirectly. I want to, and when I say good, I mean after you've been with me, you feel empowered to explore your own life in your own way. To follow your own journey more completely as it leads towards connection with Source. That's what I want people to feel. And they don't even have to attribute it to me. That's not important. I don't care about the glory. Not being rejected would be nice. But the other side, of being praised or worshiped. I don't have any desire for that. It has no meaning to me, other than the fact that I recognize that you have been changed, and that's awesome. I also want to make movies, but I want to make movies from that place, not the place of I need to do this step and I need to do that step and I need to have these things in order and I need to have this amount of money to get to this place to do these things with these people. Like, all that has to go. And instead, I express my intent out into the universe, out into Creator, and let co-creator pull me in and collaborate with me as I collaborate with them in creating the movie that it is that I want to make. It's a totally different model. It's a totally different model. And I've been exploring it first with Libertas and then with leaving Jackson, Colorado. I also want to be a better husband to my wife, whom I love. I want her to feel healthy and happy. So as I was meditating on what it's like to be Ram Dass's guru as a filmmaker, new visions of what filmmaking could look like started to come to me. And I also paused and spent a moment saying, and this is weird, because usually when we think of praying or meditating, we think of praying or meditating for the future. And the book actually talks about this. I prayed for my wife to have a good night's sleep. She had been having severe back pain. I prayed that her back pain would be gone. And when I say pray, I don't mean, Father, oh my gosh, I feel so deeply. Go send your spirit and touch my wife. Instead, it was as if I was in the room with my wife as she was sleeping, just coating her with energy. But not in the moment of my meditation. I was traveling backwards in time to when she was sleeping. So the result of my prayer, my meditation, had already happened as I was meditating it. But I didn't know that because on the playa, I didn't have cell signal. I do here where I am now. But on the playa where I was earlier this morning and for the past few days, I did not have cell signal. I drive up to this spot to talk to my wife. And I do it at a specific time, like 7 or 8 p.m., because that's when she's ready to talk. And so I said thank you to the universe for hearing that desire and for touching my wife. And I there's a part of me that wasn't sure that it was going to happen, that it wasn't real, that it was just some fantasy. But I would say probably 70% of me believed it. So comes time, I call my wife. And she has much more energy during this call. At night, her back pain went away. Not completely, but way better. Like she was able to sleep. And she was able to work her normal job without pain. Now, her back pain was not getting better before my meditation. It was getting worse. The first night, on Monday, she heard herself lifting a kid because she's a pediatric physical therapist. And she has to hold children while she does therapy sometimes. The next day, on Wednesday, she had to ice her back. On Wednesday, before we had talked, she went onto Amazon and bought a back brace so that she could hurt less. So it wasn't getting better, it was getting worse until the meditation. And then it got better. I don't know how far this is going to go. I don't know what movies are going to look like. I'm pretty sure I'm going to post them on YouTube just because it's more fun, because I can get to you faster and more directly and with fewer impedances on your part, like going out and buying a movie ticket. Although I do enjoy that experience, but I know that something is happening in me. I am being changed. Even as I talked about certain parts of my experience, be it that transcendent morality of what's really going on without morality. Instead, everything is tending toward perfect unity with Creator, to envisioning what it's like to be Ram Dass's guru as a filmmaker, as a husband, not living in the foothills of India, but instead in Garden Grove. I feel the energy in my body as I contemplate the connectedness, the co-creation. I feel zaps of energy all over my body as my body comes into phase with itself. I don't think this video's gone on long enough, but I'm going to stop it here. You will see me next week.